Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guest. As always, I'm your host, Alpha Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. And this morning, we get into James O'Keefe's most recent, we'll say shenanigans. We get into a little bit of his undercover work with the LA fraud investigations. Pete and Pete are back. And we'll get into a couple of nitwits talking about why homeschool is evil. It depends on who does it, in my opinion, but we'll get into that. And then we'll get into a little bit of Trump's speech last night and what people are saying about it on X. Let's get into it. The fuck? Clicky. Eh?
Our next witness is James O'Keefe. He's an American investigative journalist and media entrepreneur. He's the founder of Project Veritas and currently serves as the founder and CEO of O'Keefe Media Group. Mr. O'Keefe.
Chairman Paul, Ranking Member Peters, and members of this committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify. In February of 2026, I disguised myself as a homeless person and approached a petition circulator on Skid Row near San Pedro and South 6th Street in downtown LA. I saw cash clipped to his shirt, which I thought was odd. The petition circulator told me,
it is odd.
"We're
It's
gonna
not where I
need
keep my
14
cash.
signatures, and we're going to pay you $2. One of our reporters, disguised as a heroin addict with track marks on his arm, asked the homeless, "What's going on here?" They all replied with one word: money. We recorded a woman named Brown handing over cash as payment in exchange for a homeless person to register to vote in a federal election. Now that is a federal crime. Congress expressly criminalized federal election. Now that is payment in exchange for a homeless person to register to vote in a federal election. Now that is a federal crime.
Yes.
Congress expressly criminalizes payments to people to register to vote. Why? Because the vote is sacred. It's an act of conscience, of judgment. And when it becomes contaminated by incentives, when it is for sale, it undermines the sanctity and fairness of the process designed to elect those who represent us. Our investigation contributed to a federal criminal prosecution, with U.S. Attorney Bilisalia saying, "Once I saw these videos, I went to work." Brown described
Wait, what was her?
Attorney Bilisalia saying, "Once I saw these videos."
Her name is literally Bill of Sale.
Let's
hear that one more time.
Criminal prosecution, with U.S. Attorney Bilisalia saying, "Once I
Bill of
saw these
Sale.
videos, I went to work."
Yeah.
Brown described the whole thing as a, quote, pyramid game. And then came the irony. In a neighborhood of NGOs...
Hold on. Pyramid? Egyptian planes? Erica Kirk's involved.
In Los Angeles, designed to protect the vulnerable homeless population, the person being confronted by the NGOs was not the fraudster, it was the reporter exposing the fraud. Just minutes after we exposed these felonies, I was approached by a man who identified himself as being with the LAPD, and he began to record me. When I pressed him, he admitted he was actually with the LA Homelessness Authority. Under California law, that's a crime. So this was also a form of fraud, albeit covering up for the fraud happening across the street. But it got worse. We witnessed petition circulators giving marijuana in exchange for signatures on the petitions. And when they spotted our camera, they told one of our reporters, "I'm going to knock your bleeping ass. Don't come over here again. I'm going to beat your ass." He threatened us. So we decided to band together. We formed a Citizen Journalism Justice League, featuring Savannah Hernandez, Cam Higbee, Anthony Rubin, and John Tro.
I like
over the next few weeks,
all
we
those
brought
people that I've
dozens
heard of, the first three.
Cash and drug exchanges for signatures on the petitions. Together, over the course of those next few weeks, we released reporting that prompted the governor of California not to attack us, but to say that what we did was important and the activity should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Well, no, because he can't win if he doesn't do the things.
We also found next ballot petitioners asking homeless to sign in other people's names. We recorded over the shoulder one petitioner who took out his phone to access an online database to pull voter rolls and addresses. Quote, "I have an Idaho address," said the voter. The petitioner says, "I'm going to give you an address to write. Your name is Robert." Another says, "I'm giving you a new name." So we visited the residents of those people who were disenfranchised. One of the names was Vicky Walker. The homeowner at that address said for 9 years he received election mail in the name of this Vicky Walker. In fact, he told me he'd received so many ballots in the name of Vicky Walker, he named his cat Vicky Walker. We returned to ask for comment from the petitioner who was offering drugs in exchange for signatures.
I mean, Vicky Walker was probably a cat lady, so it fits.
The same individual who had threatened us earlier he grabbed the petitions and hid them in his car. When we caught up to him, one of his associates charged at us and punched my producer in the neck. The two men then charged at me. And right before they struck us, Cam Higbee deployed pepper spray. With pepper spray in their eyes, the two men continued to attempt to assail us. My colleague Braden and I had no choice but to run for our lives. To this day, all the fraudsters that committed state crimes roam free. This, as Nick has said, is not a political issue. It's not a partisan issue. It's not a conspiracy theory. And it is most certainly not circumstantial evidence. Everything I've testified to you here, all the quotes and many more, are all recorded on tape. So the question before this committee is not whether...
Good morning. Yeah, we'll probably get it in a bit. Let me actually pull that up while this guy's talking. This is James O'Keefe uncovering the Los Angeles fraud, mostly voter fraud.
...exists, or whether it's happening. Oftentimes, in politics, you all debate the facts. Facts are what they are. The question is why the incentives allow it to flourish. There is money in fraud, but there's no money in exposing the fraud. And when laws are ignored without consequences, fraud becomes the incentive. Fraud becomes the model of life. Tony Moore, one of the coordinators for the ballot petitions, told us if there's no consequences, it doesn't matter. And that's the point. I don't have subpoena power. Us journalists don't have the power to do anything but expose.
Subpoena power.
They campaign in this building about freedom and protecting democracy and preventing disenfranchisement and how nobody is above the law. But if those principles are not enforced, when they are violated in broad daylight, they're not principles at all. They're slogans. And without accountability, our notion of freedom is just an illusion. Thank you.
All right, so that was James O'Keefe before a House subcommittee. It's pretty good. The man does great work. If you have X, follow him on X. Why do I only hear... Oh, no, that was the recording. Anytime you get anything from Forbes and such, let's see how the next one does. Hold on. Yeah, no, it was just a recording. Thank God. I thought it was just my headset. But no, Forbes, a lot of that is, yeah, they don't know how to capture audio, apparently. But, so this is a couple of guys from a show I used to watch when I was a kid called Pete and Pete. It's where Michelle Trachtenberg got her start. And the great Artie, the strongest man in the world. But let's see where these guys are now, because they just recorded this, and it's on official Nick Rewind. So, morbid curiosity, I can't help myself, and I thought I'd share it with y'all.
And this is his bedroom right before noon. No one understands why he chose to sleep in so late.
Said that.
Especially on a day with so many errands to run.
That's the daring before bed. Nightmares are getting too real.
He'd attributed the disembodied voice of his older and more charming brother to a habit of drinking milkshakes at night, but in reality, he was just losing his mind.
Yeah, but very funny, Michael, okay? Could you just cut it out? How are you even doing this?
And when the immaterial voice wouldn't stop,
Mike? Michael? Show yourself!
it drove Pete positively mad.
So in the original show, so this is Danny Tamborelli, you're seeing here, and that's Michael. I can't remember his last name. You might recognize him from the redheaded guy from a couple of smaller movies in the early 2000s. Slackers with Devon Sawa, and the guy who's married to that other redhead on How I Met Your Mother. You might also recognize the other Pete from another movie called 40 Days and 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett and Shannon Sosman. Other than that, and this show, that's about it. That's about all he's done. Oh, and he's one of the dick cousins from the original Home Alone. The guy doing the voiceover right now.
My name is not Pete. That's a fake name. My name is Danny.
strongest man in the world.
Yes, I know who Shelby Hutchins who played Ernie, the strongest man in the world, but that was a fake character.
This is what child actors are. When they're only known for one thing, they can never escape it. Do you feel it? Can you hear the screaming?
Just a minute now. I know the doctor said 4 milkshakes before you go to bed can cause nightmares.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised that Nickelodeon did something this. Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
Not in this drawer, little Petey. How about Mr. Tasty's refreshing
Tasty.
bars? You can take the Pete
Oh,
out of
Jesus.
Wellsville, but you can't take the Wellsville out of Pete.
He hasn't aged well. Gingers don't age well.
She was a girl, and my friend,
Aw, Ellen.
not my girlfriend. Peter, what happened to your petunia tattoo? Where did it go?
Yeah, yeah, little Pete had a tattoo of Spanish dancer on his forearm for some reason. No one really asked why. The 90s were an interesting time.
What are you doing here?
I know you had dairy last night, so I was trying to provoke your nightmare.
How did you know that?
There were 4 empty milkshake containers in the living room.
Okay. Well, that was something. Who, Buzz or the red-haired kid? The fat guy freaking out. He's the one that had the the tattoo. All right. So we're going to get into one of Hassan Piker's biggest old lady fans. She is a demented person. This is someone who actively calls for violence on a regular basis. This is her defending why homeschool is evil. I'm about 50-50 on it myself. Seeing her and someone like Melanie Mack arguing on X is a lot of fun because it's like two retards from each side of the political divide just kind of throwing wiffle balls at each other.
Exercised about the issues the right is experiencing right now is because I would like to see conservatism win. I want to beat the Democrats in elections more than anything, but it's especially important right now because the Democrats have lost their minds. For the few sane people that are still in the Democratic Party, they seem to be refusing to do or say anything about that. And we have an insane take for you today, this time from the insufferable wine mom, podcaster, socialist revolutionary, Jennifer Welch. The mainstream Democrats are embracing the commies. They've just been eaten by the commies. There was a House Democratic resolution. It was actually promoted by Thomas Massey, the bewilderingly insane Republican who's been ousted in the primary, to defund all military aid to Israel. It was voted for by one Republican. And that's not a sentiment that has a lot of traffic inside the Republican Party. A majority of Democrats in the House who voted in favor of defunding all military aid to Israel, 103 of them. Because immorality on both the foreign and domestic front had become a litmus test for radical Democrats. And the normie Democrats, the people who are supposed to be moderate, are just accepting this. They're swallowing it whole because they too are trying to look for love in all the wrong places. Andy Bashir will be the first person eaten by the DSA. Here he was with Katie Couric saying that the Democratic Socialists of America, these communists, the big problem with that, there's really nothing wrong with them. They're just too passionate. They're just too passionate.
Many who are running under the Democratic Socialist brand or the Progressive brand are making their
Katie
case
Couric.
with just extreme passion. They are convincing voters that they will work as hard as they can, and that's what voters are asking for right now.
Guys, take care of yourselves. Love yourselves a bit. If you don't like yourself, figure out why you don't like yourself and do... I gotta get a new headset. Do something about that. But don't destroy yourself like this person clearly has.
They just want the extreme passion of the communists. John Fetterman, again, the last sane Democrat, he said yesterday, why exactly are you embracing the commies? Like, what is your thing here?
For me, what you're afraid of is defined by what you won't criticize or won't call out. And I'm always going to call out people that are they're not Democrats. In fact, some of them aren't even socialists. They've actually self-identified as communists. You know, I'm not sure why there's more outrage within the party, and they will refuse to acknowledge or say, well, I haven't been paying attention to that race so much for all those.
I mean, again, he is right about this. The fact that Democrats can
How is it the guy with literal brain damage, and he wears big baggy shorts like I do and a hoodie? How is he one of the more articulate people in Congress right now? It's kind of baffling to me.
continue to make room for the psychos. They will be embracing every psychotic position they possibly can by the end of this election cycle, and certainly going into 2028. If you're perceived as too moderate, you got nothing. You got nothing. You're going to get outflanked, and outflanked dramatically. And they just keep going crazier and crazier. Again, many of the faces in their beloved media ecosystem seem more insane every day. So Jennifer Welch, again, I will never understand how a person like Jennifer Welch has an audience, mainly because she's awful on camera.
Yeah.
Truly awful on camera. I speak as someone who's not particularly amazing on camera. Jennifer Welch makes me look like Laurence Olivier. My goodness. Jennifer Welch was on her show ripping
It's probably the gayest thing that Ben Shapiro's ever said.
into homeschooling. Like this is where the Democratic Party is going, attacking the homeschooling.
They're incapable of critically thinking. They're incapable of deduction skills. And what pisses me off about this the most is how many parents project a script onto their kids. I'm a dumbass, so therefore I'm going to make sure you're a dumbass. I'm a f***ing idiot. I made D's, as
She literally just described her own show and her audience.
our caller said, Ellie. She, you know, the dumbest people she knew in college were homeschooling their kids. And so this is trickle-down stupidity. This is MAGA on steroids. This is MAHA. This is trad wife. This is unvaxxed and unjacked and all that.
This is... Hey, good morning, Nuka. This is Angela from The Office on crack and on socialism and the moon that used to play piano in McDonald's and apparently is on lithium, which is why they're giggling so much.
This
You
is
giggle on
unvaxxed
lithium?
and unjacked and all
It's just the
that.
first thing that popped to mind.
These people, these folks. First of all, homeschoolers generally outperform public school students.
It's true.
Second of all, this bizarre hatred for parents schooling their own children and extraordinary faith in the public school system, which is failing all over the country in a wide variety of areas.
No, I'm going to do one today. I might not Monday because I might, just in case I don't know how much pain I'm going to be in. And I probably won't over the weekend, but I don't like to promise I am anyways. But no, I'll be here today for this, mostly because I wanted to get into the speech last night, which I'm going to do after this, and then I'll do Act 1 for a send-off. And then Monday I might not be on, but I'll post on X and on YouTube whether I am or not.
Is pretty astonishing. But don't worry, the hatred doesn't stop there. Welch has a co-host. That co-host's name is Angie Sullivan, who says she does not trust parents who want to be with their children.
You would not believe how many people in Bible study homeschool their kids. And you just think, I worry about that. And then you see those witness booklets or whatever they're called that the Duggars use, and they're like top out at 8th grade. I mean, I just think homeschooling is a bad idea from soup to nuts. I don't care if you're...
Just because you don't have the capacity for something doesn't mean it's a bad idea. And I understand seeing families that legitimately like each other. It's odd and it's weird. It's a bit unnerving for people like me and obviously like this giant-toothed... I don't want to say that, but it is unnerving. And it's like watching the Mormon episode of South Park. Remember that family, the Mormon family from that episode of South Park way back? It's unnerving because we're not used to seeing families legitimately like each other. Some would say it's impossible, and then you see a family like that, and it's just like, I think they're all on drugs. But no, they're just living how, Bible people are supposed to live. And that's perfectly fine. There's no reason to, but again, in a world like we live in, religious people would call it a secular world. That's how it's looked upon. And, you know, for a live and let live society as we claim to be, it really only seems to go one way. Like, you're allowed to let everyone live how they want to live when they're degrading themselves. But when people are actually... No, exactly. Well, and maybe it's just an American thing, because here it's really rare to find a family that loves each other and does things together. Maybe it's because I was born white trash, and or something to that effect. But I don't know. But for a lot of people, it is that way, and I'm happy for you, Yunuka, that you have a good, loving family that makes these two people sick. Me, it's like I said, it's weird, it's odd, and I don't want to go too close to it. Like, I want to see what it's like and see how people who were raised that way, you know, interact with each other and such. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't want to. I might taint this if I go near it. I don't. I think I'll go play another game or something.
A nuclear physicist. I think it's just weird as that you want your kids around you all day, every day, and all night.
Lady, just because you hate your kids doesn't mean that people who want their kids around them or like their kids and their kids like them is a bad thing. I've never, like, I understand it, but I don't understand why people take it to this point. I mean, it could be an Israeli thing.
And just the socialization. For me personally, it was that I would have gotten up on my hands and knees and strapped them to my back and crawled to get them to school every day, just to get them where I wasn't. So I don't trust somebody that wants to be with their kids 24/7.
Okay, she would have gotten on her hands and knees and crawled to get her kids away from her, is basically what she's saying there. And she doesn't understand. After saying that sentence, her next sentence is, I don't understand people who want to be around their kids all the time. I understand, yes, free time to enjoy your own hobbies and such is a good thing. And yes, eventually when your kids are older, they go off and do their own things. But it's also important to share some time, because you never really know how much time you have left.
I think a lot of dumb people do it because it's just easier.
That's a sentence.
And that's a concern.
This literally, like, this is just the way. How can I explain this? These two cackling twats are the inverse of how the left sees the right. Like, this is your standard in it just for the sanctimony, to be sanctimonious about things. This is that couple of mean girls in a Baptist church. The ones that use their religion as a cudgel, as opposed to what it's supposed to be for religious folk, a blessing, something to make you feel better about life, to give you some kind of peace. And they use it as something to hold over other people's heads. I had these people in my church all the time. I could tell you her name right now, but she is the type that would sue me. But, yeah, just awful. Just awful, awful human beings. And the fact that that they don't see the irony in this, a couple of left-wing Karens talking about people who they would deem as right-wing Karens, saying that they're unintelligent because they homeschool their kids, it's cope. It's really just cope.
It's absolutely 100% not easier. Not easier at all. Okay, this lady is crazy. This is a crazy thing to say. First of all, you don't trust parents who want to be with their kids?
Yet she would strap her kids to her back to get them to school, away from her. And she says the other parents are stupid, are retarded.
What is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Do adults need a break from their kids sometimes? Sure.
Yeah.
Do good parents want to be with their kids? A lot. Absolutely. Folks, there is nothing more important on this planet than defending children, and that includes children who are they have value. Why? Well, because they never a baby. Or visit preborn.com/Shapiro. And I'm confused. You don't trust somebody who wants to be with their kids. You just trust somebody who wants to be with other people's kids? That's your pitch? My goodness. And the Democrats will embrace all this sort of stuff. They do.
I mean, and you can tell. And this is your average Hassan Piker fan, especially those who are trying to get a fandom of their very own. And fandoms are a lot like, there's a movie called Multiplicity where a guy clones himself so that he can have more time to spend with his family. And then the clones feel like slaves. So one of the clones clones himself, but when you clone a clone, the clone comes out retarded. Basically because you're thinning out the gene pool, more or less. And you're a little less of what makes you you each time. Hi, Steve. He thought my Pepe, Steve. So use that same logic for Hassan Piker. And his fans are one level of retard more than he is. Because they have to be, because how else would you watch? And then his fans have their own fans, because they've started their own little things. And his fans have to be that much more retarded, and so on and so forth. At least for the ones who are actually... I don't know how people find these people interesting. I really don't.
So, when I say that I want the Democrats to lose, it's because I want them to lose. But I don't just want them to lose it.
I mean, that might be it. In the chat, he says, I think the reason why we have a good family relationship is the Shabbat and the Shabbat dinner. Probably. I know my family gets along pretty well for the holidays that we do spend together. But then again, I think it's because a lot of us make ourselves... I don't know. Maybe if we did things like that more, we would be closer. But it was never like that But... I don't know. My mom is married to a good man now, and he is devout. And he's a good guy. He's a lot better than the last two. But atheists do it. Muslims do it. Atheists do it, really? They all do Shabbat? Interesting.
In name, I want them to lose in policy. I don't want any of the policies that the Democrats are pushing. I don't want a weak foreign policy. And I don't want a hatred of free market economics that is being propped up by a bunch of lies about how income inequality damn all of us to the loss of the American dream and all this slop. I'm not interested in a bunch of conspiracy theorizing about how the American dream is dead and we can't get ahead, and therefore all the meritocracy itself must be ground under... Like, I don't want that. I don't want it from Democrats. I don't want it from Republicans. And listen, it may be because the world's imperfect, that we have a bunch of imperfect choices in the future in presidential... Sure. I mean, people very rarely get what they want in politics. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't call it out when we see it, because it is both bad strategy and bad principle. What an amazing video you just watched. Wasn't that amazing?
All right.
Well, you know, if you think so, head on over to dailywire.com/subscribe to watch the... Alrighty, folks, today we're going to talk about...
Oh, my God. I got to clear out some of the excess in this thing. Hold on.
Citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all.
Oh. All right.
Now the president has been very much...
So the president had a speech last night. I'm an old man, so do you see how early I get up? But yeah, it was after my bedtime last night. Nux covered it live, and he actually posted it, I think right after. Yeah, he posted it right after. So we're going to get into that today.
Hyping up his address to the nation now, all right? It's about to happen live. I am live, reacting to it live with my homies over at TikTok.com/Nuxanor. It's pretty insane. Now,
I watched them up until I fell asleep.
AOC said that it should not be broadcast because it's going to be too dangerous. NBC and ABC say...
Well, I mean, she's got huge eyes, so watching anything of this magnitude is just going to be overwhelming for her.
They will not air this primetime address live on their broadcast because it might be too dangerous. Multiple members of Congress and senators were coming out saying, hey, we heard about what's going to be going on in this speech, and everyone has to watch it. Time for complacency with China is over. All right? There's a lot of insane things and theories floating around. I Don't have any actual sources anywhere, but even I heard from a source that it's going to be insane, which is crazy because I'm like just some random blue moron on the internet that's demonetized and doesn't get paid for my work. I'm just a guy, an indentured servant doing free labor for these corporate overlords. And even I heard that from an inside source that apparently it's amazing. So lock in, boys and girls. It's about to, it's literally starting. Hold up, wait. Oy vey, can you use a bro?
I love that Nux has ads now. I am happy for Nux that he has. Oh yeah, you know he was live. He does lives now like 4 p.m., 4 or 5 p.m. depending on if there's anything actually going on that evening. But just keeping this up for an extra second in case y'all want to support Nux and continue.
Honestly necessary. Back to the video.
Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great.
We're great.
Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster.
We did.
After the worst inflation in 48 years.
Biden.
Wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all
Hold
over
on.
the world.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through the part where he's glazing himself. We all know what he says.
Given out, the media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts.
Okay, he's still glazing himself.
Great seniors.
Like I said, I love it. It's funny, but it's redundant because he goes through the same talking points, and we all know the talking points. It's like we got a great things are going on. We were dead. We were dead as a country. Now we're the hottest country on earth.
The big beautiful bill was amazing, by the way.
Stock markets are
It's true.
at their
Thomas Massey voted
highest
against it,
point
by the way.
in
Also true.
many years,
And he
but
lost
we
his
can
election, by
actually
the way.
say of all
Still
time.
true.
And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history.
What did they do? What didn't they do? No, we'll find out. We'll find out. Apparently, they had a lot to do with things. Even though CBS, run by, what's her name? The one that everyone thinks is a Republican shill now. I can't think of her name. But she's really just unbiased for the most part. Like, she's left-leaning, probably a little more than me. And people say that she's a shill because she tries to be as unpartisan and unbiased as possible, which is a good thing. But they did say fact check false on this. But we'll see if it stays up. And we'll wait for community notes.
Under my
the
most
left wants healthcare
favored
to be
nation's
cheaper.
policy,
Even though
because I
Trump
was
was the
able
one
to
that
get
did
the
it?
rest of the
No.
world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov. This
That is
will
massive, by the
ultimately
way.
reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of
that
what
is
we've
massive.
done with prescription drugs.
And
The investment being invested, put in by companies and individuals,
All right,
potentially hundreds of thousands
All right, still
of
glazing.
dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start.
All right, we're almost halfway through and still glazing.
So for that, go to TrumpAccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up.
It is a good thing.
Our previously wide open borders
For the
have
children.
been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with zero illegal
That's
aliens
right, zero.
admitted
Less
to
than
the
one.
United States
W.
in the past 14
W.
months. That
Oh
is
my
zero.
God.
Nobody thought it was possible.
Unfathomable. Listen,
We had
I
the
wish he was
worst
the
border
fascist
in
that
the history of our
left
country.
thinks
Now
he
we
is,
have the
but
best.
that's a W.
Sometimes I do
Crime is
too.
plummeting nationwide with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago.
So arresting
We're
criminals
making a
works.
record investment in our armed forces,
No way.
and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the
We
world.
proved that, by the
I
way.
built it during my first term, and unfortunately, use it now.
That's
We
right.
won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce
conquered that
millions and millions of
We
barrels of oil.
colonized Venezuela, by
We
the
are
way.
likewise winning big in
We own
Iran,
them.
and you will see
welcome.
the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed. because no country can be great without fair and honest elections.
Oh, here we go.
You have
Here
to
we
trust
go.
your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness, and that's very simple.
High trust society. Sounds good. Japan used to have that.
For many years, I've called for a bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure. One where cheating and interference
Not
are not
acceptable.
just difficult, but
They're
virtually
impossible.
impossible.
That's right. Oh boy.
Unfortunately, the
Something's
system
coming.
we have today falls
Something's coming.
catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure.
Oh shit.
This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously
2020 files?
and really exposes like levels never thought possible. The hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you. The American people are beautiful, are great American people.
I am beautiful. You're right.
But that all changes.
There's no
right
room for that.
Damn it, I was going to
The
say that.
documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence
Yeah, AOC says
Advisory
not to
Board,
watch this. Ha!
supported
Yeah.
by our
That'll
top
work.
intelligence agency
That'll work.
chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirming.
Is that an eagle? Is that an eagle? Is that Nazi symbolism? Some people say for some reason. I'll never understand that whole thing. Yes, it was a little cringe him putting an AI generated golden eagle on the White House. It looks like my toilet. But just because look, yes, they had an eagle on some of their emblems, yes. But so have we, and we've been doing it for longer. So it's not Nazi symbolism, it's American symbolism, and they fashioned theirs after us because we were the big guys at the time. Or they just like eagles. Maybe it was a hawk, maybe it was just some other kind of warbird.
They're authentic.
No, he is, he really is.
You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, and
Go
then
check
no
it
one's
out.
producing that, right?
Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And
This
that's
is
what
big.
we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern.
Oh shit.
First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data
That's what they did. That's what they did, Shapeshifter. That's one of the things.
in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files.
Oh my.
That
You mean it
information
wasn't the
includes
Jews?
names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data
Those Chinese
that
Jews,
would be needed
bro.
to register
At
to
it
vote
again.
and engage in other nefarious activities.
That is
which
huge.
is exactly what
That
was
is,
happening.
dude. We just cut off
This
their
data
oil.
loss presents an
They
unprecedented
need our
election
country for
security
oil right
nightmare.
now.
The intelligence even shows that China has signed a data exploitation unit specifically to this new
I told
project.
you we were doing something with China.
Compounding the travesty,
toppled
the second
Venezuela and
set of
Iran.
documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's
Or he pre-watched it.
election meddling.
Shit, dude.
Covering it
That
up.
people do say that he does that sometimes, but I think I don't know. Like sometimes when he's like, I swear I didn't pre-watch it. Like sometimes you can actually, I don't know, just kind of get an inkling as to what's about to happen or what's about to be said.
Up from both the
Or, you know,
president
great
and the
minds.
American people like nobody thought was possible.
Is he gonna drain
U.S. spy
the swamp,
agencies
bro?
began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020
Okay, when can we
when they
expect the
discovered
hanging?
that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China.
Or
Those
hacked.
responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not.
I mean, I'm sure he starts to watch or he skims, but I don't know if he pre-watches. It seems like he's, I don't know, as much as he does, I think it's, and as much as he probably has to watch to research a lot of the things that he does, I don't know if he pre-watches as much as people think, but I'm sure some of them he has at least skimmed before. But I don't know.
Not disclosed to.
I mean, I do sometimes. Not a lot, as made obvious, but when I play a couple of really boring things, or it's like, oh, then that headline looks really good. I'm going to check that out. And then that's why I don't play Benny Johnson on here that often, is because it's normally wild speculation.
Me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very
Get their
pat
ass,
line
Mr.
that was
President.
divvied
You
out
deserve
to
another
say.
4 years for this one.
The cover-up of this
We'll call it second
colossal
term, part
security
2.
breach is even more disturbing.
Second term, part 2.
Additional information showing
Or
that
am I?
China engaged in other
I mean, either way.
election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign.
Oh my God.
They did not want, and they just didn't want it.
Gavin
They fought
Newsom's going to
like
jail,
hell
by the
not
way.
to have it Donald Trump to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his.
And they're funding
He was writing his, are you talking about like all the Nux is right stuff? I don't know. I mean, that's just, I think that's just, you know, him seeing trends or something to that effect. But, oh wow, I wasn't expecting this. I don't know. This is not a genuine yearbook. I should have read the community notes, but that is pretty funny that he looks like a member of Good Charlotte. Ugh.
the colleges, by the way.
Isn't that
Coincidence?
nice? Also, in
China funding our colleges?
2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections.
No shot.
And later the
Yeah, hey, dude on Kick, I appreciate the engagement, but fuck off, okay?
results of the 2020 presidential election itself.
Dude, this is bigger than the
Separately,
Cuban
in
Missile Crisis.
mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job.
All right. Okay,
and
all
they
right,
did
Mr.
everything
President, we get it.
possible to do.
Oh, we're back to glazing. We're back to glazing. I mean, again, I will say he is trying to maintain campaign promises more than most presidents, and depending on whether you like or hate what he promised, shows how much you like or hate him. But that's not nothing, and I'll give him that.
Do exactly that. Going
seven
on,
swing
this
states.
document says this is by the
Oh,
CIA.
no, that's
The strategy included
my bad. That's I listen to Rain when I'm sleeping. Let me turn that down. Yeah, my bad. No, I listen to Rain while I'm sleeping, and here we'll get some. Hold on. I usually try to get at least some background noise, so it's not just dead air. But yeah, I just forgot to turn the that off this time. But what did the guy on Kick say? No, he's just a spammer. He's just like, your stream's dead because you have 0 viewers. Fix it now by clicking on this view bot. And I'm like, I don't want to do bots. I don't want to do bots. I'm not a Hassan Piker orbiter.
Efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. President and pay them large sums.
You've never seen him this smug? Again, love him or hate him, he's pretty smug. Want to have more followers? Follow me on Discord. Paid. Yeah, exactly. Daddy. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of people over on YouTube, but I've got, what's it, 3? Is it 3? I mean, it's not nothing. And I've got a solid crowd.
Of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose
because they're China.
They knew I was wise to them.
Because he's going to cut off their oil because they can't invade Taiwan now.
Worth of tariffs, and built the strongest
because they can no longer rip us off with their tariffs.
Military anywhere in the world.
Holy shit!
These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden.
That's so
Documents show that during this period, dozens of
saw that
significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote...
Can I just say that, again, as far as old guys this age go, he speaks much better than Biden. Can we just say that? Sure, he bloviates. Sure, he goes off on tangents. Sure, sometimes he's repetitive. But he's old. I find myself doing that all the time. I'll say the same thing 2 or 3 times because I used to make fun of Bush for doing it so much.
A shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political.
Blatantly political.
Significant numbers of burn bags in formation. And this is a group of bags that were used to destroy
Kaya is shocked by this news.
Information.
Kaya is shocked by this news. I love that is never going away because Hassan Piker will not stop talking about his own Collargate, and he keeps changing the story. And Shu had a really good point. Like, who cares if it's a shot collar? Who cares if it's a vibration collar? The point is you use it to keep the dog in place for 4 hours for your stream because he's just furniture for you. Or she.
Oh, my God.
Burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were
Can we put him in jail, please?
supposed to be
Please put him in jail.
at a different level
And as
by
a surprise,
different
we
people,
have him in a cage
incinerated
right
and
here.
checked.
He's right
But it
behind
never
me,
happened.
actually.
Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bag. But the
See, and speaking of gross incompetence, the Blue Angels flew over the beach, and I talked about this yesterday. I think it was too low. I definitely think it was too low. I certainly wouldn't go to this shit because those jets are very loud, and the ripple effect, you saw some of it. Not too horribly bad, but people's things blew off, and, you know, we're not in a high-trust society, unfortunately, so people will make off with your stuff. But he's reporting that irresponsible, dangerous maneuver, which resulted in minor injuries. No, it didn't. Community note, no one was injured from the Blue Angels flyover Pensacola Beach. The Krasensteins, who knew the Krasensteins are liars. No injuries. Again, I think it was too low. I think I think Hegseth's response, the flyovers will continue until morale improves. While funny, not a great response as far as this kind of thing goes. But again, not against the whole thing, just maybe not so low. And I think people are blowing it out of proportion because they're lying bitches.
Findings are stunning.
Yeah.
Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people.
That's right.
Yet
That's
concealing
right. Jail.
China's meddling was
At least.
only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and
Spencer Pratt
ballot
punching the air
counting
right now.
systems. Dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure.
Not the Jews again.
Unquote. But that's some statement.
Speaking of that, real quick side tangent. I tagged something. Yes. I can't believe it turns out everyone who hates Trump actually paid by China. Look, he's being sarcastic here. But while I think it might be exaggerated, China's effect, not that exaggerated, but exaggerated. This coming from someone who blames Israel for absolutely fucking everything. It baffles me how so many people can blame Israel for absolutely everything. Oh, this person who makes millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands a month, or tens of thousands a month, is going to submit to Israel for paying them $7,000 a month. That's retarded. Okay? I don't care. It's retarded. But you can't think it's silly that the Communist government of China, but I will say they call themselves, what is it, the People's Republic of China? Oh, but it's the People's Republic. It's their republic. It's not a dictatorship. It's the People's Republic. Because it's in the name, yeah. These are the same people who will tell you that Antifa they're good guys. They're fighting fascists. It's in the name. Their name is Antifa. That's short for anti-fascist. If you're against them, what does that make you? People who use these arguments are retarded. Even the ones who I know should be smarter than this, but they've been... When you're exposed to that much propaganda and you just kind of eat it up for so long, especially if it's within your friend groups and such, it's hard not to submit to it a little bit. Trust me, as someone who used to, I understand that. It sneaks up on you. But the fact that Hassan Diddy Piker here and others like him, a lot of other people were doing this. I think, I don't know, that's Melanie Mack. Look, two retards, one on the left, one on the right, going back and forth at each other. Melanie Mack, you're not the best example of what homeschooling can do for you, okay? You're an internet thought. Okay, yes, you're a Christian internet thought, but you're an internet thought. But the fact that Hassan Piker and a lot of his ilk will be like, what? China did it all. Oh, man, everyone who hates Trump must be paid off by China. China actually has the funding to do it, or at least they did until we sacked a lot of their funding. But they have a lot more reason to do this. They've been trying to be a world power for a long time. They're one of the BRICS nations. They're one of the ones who are trying to set up a separate, independent from America financial whatever it's called. The internet thought too much. Precisely.
Isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country.
All the commies that hate us because we're the strongest
goes on
nation.
to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight we're releasing all of those findings and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy.
Yep.
Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past.
Hell
The
yes.
fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in
God,
Michigan.
dude!
In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted...
They were so concerned. They couldn't believe it. I couldn't either. Not until they gave me these papers.
...the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections.
200.
Since Democrat states refuse to
and
share
you know that
their
those are
voter
all
files,
in the spots that
the
they
real
need them
number is
to.
actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote.
What? That thing that doesn't happen's happening.
Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments.
Orcs are voting in the Shire, baby.
Systems are exposed to hacking, manipulation, and corruption.
And notice how
China
all our enemies
and other
want the left
countries
to
have
win.
been
Isn't that
trying
weird?
to meddle in our elections.
Suspicious,
Evidence of
isn't it?
fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. as one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing.
What were they doing for that month?
This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. You know,
That is true. It doesn't take over a month to count votes in any country except for this one, and mostly in California.
a rare move. NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is, and they don't want to reveal it.
Revoke
they and others
their
in the
license.
media are part of a plot.
Revoke their broadcasting
they want to continue
license.
this fraud for
They
whatever
are not
reason.
impartial
They wanna
media.
Keep it going. They want to protect the radical left.
They are the
can't have a
propaganda arm of the
great
communists.
country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses.
Yup.
They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money.
This is what I'm saying.
They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar.
Billions and billions and billions.
Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections
I didn't mean to do
were
that.
vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere.
I mean, I agree with that.
Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be together. Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
Except they're evil
everybody.
communists, and they
And
want a
it should
revolution.
Not be a partisan issue.
It is a partisan
It
when
should
they
cause
worship the
to
devil.
unite us, not to
All right, when
divide
they
us.
worship
It should be
Satan,
a
it
cause.
becomes
We
partisan
should
all of
be
a sudden.
United, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the people.
And here's a fun one. So again, CBS News, what I was talking about earlier. Mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt while advocating for a Save America Act. Would ban mail-in voting. Fact check rating false, according to CBS News. Then community notes, likely voters, over 1,000 U.S. likely voters was conducted. A survey of them was of the week of November 30th through December 6th by Rasmussen Reports and the Heartland Institute. They found that more than 20% of voters who used mail-in ballots in 2020 admit they participated in at least one form of election fraud. And I'm sure that they questioned them in a way that, like you'll answer questions. Hey, would you do this? Have you ever done this? Would you do this? Have you ever done this? Not saying that it's specifically election fraud when they ask them these questions, or at least I would hope. But this person didn't attack a child. There was no physical attack on this kid. This lady called him a very mean name towards the kid's parents, but never actually physically assaulted the kid. So the Green Tavern, the Green Dragon Tavern, is another. It's just a grift. It's just a clout chasing channel. That's all they are, or X account. That's all it is. Because they post a lot of inflammatory, retarded stuff like Evan loves Worf.
Republic of China and many others. We'll be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected, so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states. And
that needs to be a meme. Baron accidentally shows. That wasn't porn. That was Rotten Tomatoes for the Odyssey. Gasp, I did V2. I know it was. No, okay, I got you. I need to read faster.
and we are committing to fix it. And we're also
Mr. President, can we deport Hassan Piker?
States and local jurisdictions.
That'd be nice. I'd get behind that. Can we deport Hassan Piker?
Just that. That's all you need to do.
Before the midterm elections, we have.
You'll win the midterms if you deport Hassan Piker.
We want those.
I mean, I would very much enjoy that. I would laugh.
We've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act.
Yeah, obviously.
How easy is that to do?
Oh my God.
Unless you want to cheat. The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad.
He's right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way.
Yeah, I read slow. But I'm like Ron Burgundy. If you put it there for me to read, I'm gonna read the whole thing as it is. Like if you put exclamation marks, or a question mark, I'll be like, I'm Ron Burgundy.
This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo, voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo, voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places,
that's right.
Mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay.
He's right.
Oh, yeah.
Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
That was a killer. That was a killer. I'm not.
That was
gonna
pretty good.
lie. That was kind of a killer.
I mean, most of it was him bloviating about himself, but that's just how Trump starts most of his speeches.
Shorter than the usual Trump speech. He was on script. He did not riff. I think a lot of people might not recognize the actual importance of what he said. He essentially declared war on China without actually going to war with them. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the major reasons why he wanted to, in order, cut Cuba, topple Venezuela, and obliterate Iran is because China needs us for oil. We are the #1 oil exporter in the world right now. China is buying our oil by the fuckload. They are buying a shit ton of oil from us, okay? Do you understand? They can't bitch about this. They can't.
Which I'm down with. I'm completely down with. I know this is random and unrelated, but can I insult Frogan to chat just for the sake of making me laugh? Yeah, no, 100%. No, you can do whatever you want in the chat, just as long as it doesn't break any of the, whatevers. Like, I'm not going to report anything unless it's like, it's like, what do they call it? Terrorism, stochastic terrorism, or whatever it is. But yeah, no, just say whatever you want. Just no slurs. And yeah, I love the engagement. I love talking to you guys.
So ultimately, the WhiteHouse.gov has crashed from searches. I know. This is massive. So essentially, what we have done is we have forced China to take it up the ass. That is what we've done. And now we can straight up say, hey, Please stop hacking and rigging our elections, please. We have evidence. No, I would love to see people go to jail for this. Obviously, that's what I want every time. I just want to see some bastards going to jail. All right, listen, man. I'm a simple man. I just want to see some bastards going to jail. But this is absolutely massive. Potentially the biggest address since the Cuban Missile Crisis, directly naming China as an adversary that is influencing our elections. And this is right after Trump was all chummy and friendly with Xi Jinping. Dude, it's all part of the play. It's part of the plan. It's insane. Holy shit. But anyway, we'll see where this goes. We'll see the actual documents that they release over time. I'm glad we were able to do this live. But this was big. It was big. And we'll see
Big, like Frogan.
But regardless, it's gonna be fucking hairy. And we need to annihilate the left. We just need to annihilate the left. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm actually a very simple man. I just want to hang people for treason. Legally speaking, of course, nothing extrajudicial. Just if they committed treason, I just want them to hang. I'm a simple man. David
legally.
King David
Completely legally.
Bible for treason. All right, they committed treason. Joab, however you pronounce it. They executed that guy. All right, Absalom. That dude was killed. All right. Let's be real here. You commit treason, you die. It's actually biblical and based. Let him fucking swing. Legally, I'm not calling for violence, of course, on YouTube especially, because I love humans in general. In fact, I think that life is so sacred. That's why I want to kill these people, legally speaking, in a court after a court case, of course, obviously, to show you exactly how severe their actual crime fucking was. I'm gonna need some time to process the fact that China, an adversary, all right, not like these fake shadow demons that these morons on Twitter come up with. China hacked 220 million voter files in 2020, and the CIA covered it up. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they can't do anything about this. Right? Trump basically declared war on them, but they can't do anything about this because they need it for our oil, because we successfully cut them off everywhere.
Which is kind of awesome. And just considering the countries that were involved, there's no way it was a coincidence. No way.
6D chess move over there. Holy
crap. I don't know about that, but...
Oh my God. Kamala Harris immediately tweets out, before the president gets on television tonight to peddle lies and conspiracy theories, here's what you need to know. The 2020 election was not stolen. We won, he lost. Holy, they are scared.
And then the Save X is voter suppression. It's part of a larger agenda of conservatives trying to steal power from the people. No, it's not. No, it's not. Paying for an ID that most people already are. You're already supposed to have an ID. Okay, you're already supposed to have it. For the most part, the real ID will work. For the most part. In some places it won't, because they give them to literally fucking anybody. They give them to people who aren't citizens. There should have always been a separate ID for people who are not citizens. That works the same as a driver's license or whatever, but is not that. Frogan's the type of chick to buy a one-wish willow and wish for a lifetime supply of Big Macs to satisfy her faults. My God.
This video is sponsored by you, brave
Okay.
heterosexuals out there. Because my channel.
All right, continuing on.
Because they have an aversion and allergy to honesty. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon. It's linked in my description.
Where go?
It's literally my source of income.
Hold on, where go? No. Where go? There it is. Okay. Real quick, I saw... And let us not forget, people who propagandize this and tell all kinds of lies about it will also be the ones to say that, oh, this speech wasn't that bad. Remember this one? And yes, it was blue and white instead of red, white, and blue. They had the red directly behind him. This was a very eerie speech given by Biden, objectively. And he declared war on half the country.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very
This is only 30 seconds.
of our republic. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos.
It's not true.
They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair.
That sounds like one side, but not the side to which you profess.
They spread fear and lies.
Charge complete.
Lies told for profit and
Sorry about that.
power. Donald Trump and the MAGA
Again, he's describing someone, but not the people he thinks he is. My God. Okay, this has to be said. These are people who are up to get Graham Plattner's spot in Maine.
Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran
I am Optimus Prime.
for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter.
I swear I thought this was I thought this was shit, what's his name? The guy who hosted the roast of shit. Who hosted the roast of Kevin Hart? Shane Gillis, my God. I swear I thought that was either Shane Gillis or Meatloaf come back to life. Is Meatloaf dead?
And then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to...
Yeah, so that's a thing that's happening. Anyway, continuing on with Act 1. No further ado. So we watched Act 2 the other day because we thought it was a sequel to something else, but it was in fact a sequel to this. Oh, also, I need to get my thing out so I can censor. Oh. 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 It's okay. It's just Kool-Aid. It's just Kool-Aid. They really like Kool-Aid. They very much like Kool-Aid. That's all it is. That's all. The frogmen attacketh. Nope. Oh man, they're just hugging. That's all that's happening. That's just it. It's just a very friendly hug. The frogman cometh. Oh man, this is gonna be it's gonna be intense. The intense drinking of Kool-Aid and hugging. Uh oh. Who's it gonna be? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, it's just flash photography, that's all. Oh man, there's... That's just Frogan rapid-firing Big Macs, that's all that is. Oh man, it's way too spread out for me to do things. Where's it gonna be? My God, we'll call that one Froggin.
Frog Team 5 is danger close heading south. Recommend approach east to west.
Approach easy, Big Mac.
Time to go, gentlemen.
Ah, oh, I thought that was more Kool-Aid, but it's just Kool-Aid mist. He forgot to put it in water. All right, here goes Pete Hegseth with the Blue Angels. I wonder how closely they'll fly. That's just a love bomb. You've heard about those, yes? Uh-oh. 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 Who's it gonna be? Oh, man. Alright, a couple of guys there. Oh, man. He just loved him to the back of the head.
Bullfrog 1-1 to Egg Base. No good route to Cheeseburger Hill 420.
Cheeseburger Hill? Is Frogan stationed there?
Request alternates exfil point.
Bullfrog 1-1, this is Egg Base. Stand by. There's a Mudskipper safe house near your location. Resupply and wait for further
I wonder if it's Muddy Mudskipper.
Bullfrog 1-1, copy. The advised location was confirmed to have housed the F-box recently. Let Eggman know it's here. Time to go, boys.
Is Eggman them describing Tectone's head?
Copy that. Bullfrog 1-1, Egg Base out. Yo, Frog Team 5 confirmed the F-box is in Vietnam. Tell Eggman.
Hey, Tectone, those special frogs.
Lobster babes, Jesus.
Finally, I've been waiting to start Vietnam round 2.
Start that pile of shit up, and let's go see what your fucking frogs have been doing all this time.
I like how he was mouthing words, but he didn't say anything.
Hey, Tectone! Here's a tablet to see what's going on!
Yeah. I see it.
Why do I get the feeling there were lobsters on that screen?
And autism meets.
What?
Good evening and welcome to Fox News.
Shh, it scares you, it scares you, it
Tonight we
scares
have a special report on Tectone's invasion in Vietnam, which is now on its 103rd day. The Fat Frogs have established several bases in the region, causing massive issues for the locals. We now go live to Vietnam with an exclusive interview with the Frog Commander.
My grandpappy done came over here before me, and now I get to get her done. Woo! These frogs no leave buffet. They go now. They so fat. Only good they do is kill annoying neighbor for his opium. Fucking frog. Grandpappy always said.
What is happening?
Trees that be talking all the time, and he wasn't wrong. I can't keep
What
up
is
with
happening?
just how unfathomably retarded these fat frogs are. They get the job done, but they strain the sanity in trying to manage.
Is that the leftist cowboy that Chuan had pointed out?
Field, but our commander Tectone done made sure we get our nuggets. God bless that fucking bald dude. Too bad he's a Genshin player. They steal my egg.
This is how they see all people in the South.
How little dick supposed to make money? At this rate, frog gun gonna eat whole store.
Why does he sound like someone from Alabama trying to do a Chinese accent?
Only thing stop him is red hot chili pepper. Make that shit expensive as fuck. Grandpappy
Oh, I like a red hot chili pepper.
so big, and a 12 gauge and a fifth of whiskey can't make smaller.
I'm dying on the inside.
Use a 45, it'll put a hole in someone big enough to fuck.
Yeah, this place is a bit of a mess right now. The city seemed peaceful.
Fox
for the most
News
part,
hat
but everyone
salesman.
keeps saying, stay away from the jungle as frogs shoot at anything. Get me out of this shithole.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah,
You
no,
start
lobster
out there
babes
for
as
now.
well.
In other news, rabbis in the area are trying to petition the UN to kick out Tectone
Rabbis,
and
not
fat
rabbis.
frogs.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
Are they lobster assholes? Because we need to talk, Tectone. We need to talk. Is it lobsters? Bongwater Entertainment reaching for the sky after hitting the cloud and hitting the cloud. Okay. Look at all those lobsters. Tectone's cup runneth over.
They say it's for the country, but power just wants to change.
What the fuck?
So it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. 'Cause it's always been about the money If you wanna see behind a curve, if you wanna know the real world, if you think they fight.
Oh God, is he putting on his afro rig so he can sneak into explosions? That I don't think that it's ever existed. Fucking lobsters for money. Is that Nux? Look at all those shekels. MREs actually aren't that bad. I would almost say that some of them are good. I love how the theme song is more darker, sadder, and serious. Yes. Nux! It's Nux. Hold on. Did we have one frame of shit? No. The lobsters are screaming, trying to get their buddy. That's him walking into the lobster's butthole. Just in case. No. It's just happy things happening over here. Oh God. No. It's just he's just sharing with him. That's right. The lobster's not for eating. It's for banging. At least for Tectone. For some reason. I don't know where that came from. I haven't been watching Tectone long enough, I guess. Tectone sits here and thinks longingly about the lobster. I wonder if that's why he's a Jordan Peterson fan. Nux bang? What? No.
Grandpappy said that you should always wash your balls with the...
Shut the fuck up!
Thank you.
Where's the command tent?
Over yonder.
I will say, I hope in part, because you said they're doing Act 3, I hope when Act 3 comes out, it's the newer stuff where they actually look like Tectone instead of this.
What are you guys doing? We're a little hungry, and, well, we decided to dip some of our bullets in pig fat. You know, because we're fighting people that don't like that sort of thing.
Carry on. Welcome to Vietnam.
Fuck.
We finally have something for you to care about. Let me show you. Here's the deal. The Sog Frogs found out that these FTX clowns are keeping the box in some tunnel under the jungle. The problem is, we don't know how to get in.
We all know where the box is now.
Genuinely, who the fuck are the Sog Frogs? Also, I hope Nux is here to help with those tunnels.
Well, the Sog Frogs are a group of surprisingly capable frogs.
Yes, they were promised to you 3,000 years ago.
Oh, and Nux
They said it's coming out in mid-July, so we may get it this week. Cool.
Genuinely, how the hell are we going to get in?
Well, Mindset Legal is local, and I know y'all are friends. Maybe he can help.
You know what? And I mean this genuinely.
Mindset Legal.
I need some gamer subs. Code Baldy, by the way. Where's Mindset at? I'll go talk to him.
Did you guys bring my car over? Yeah, it's by the gate. The frogs damaged your Gooner van, and Donut had Brandon find a replacement. What?
Why does he look like the guy that does that really funny George Washington sketch on...
Come on, man.
About like the metric system and all that from SNL?
Genuinely, what the fuck is this shit box?
Gamer subs. I don't know why it sounds more Russian than anything, but... Alright, the director of photography goes for a ride. Hell yeah. Run over some cyclists if you see them. I know this isn't America, so they're probably not as annoying as ours, but... Oh, oh. It's okay. No. They're not hurt. We call this the protest cruiser. Here's your gamer subs, bald man. Thanks, whore. What the fuck?
Classic. Sorry about that.
Fucking lobsters. Fucking lobsters. Just why, man? Hey, Anuka, thanks for all the engagement over on Kick, bud.
Nice bar, bro. Doc said you might know a few people to help me with this tunnel bullshit.
Moo ding. Who's this supposed to be? Is that a... Does anyone know who that's supposed to be? This is supposed to be Andrew Esquire.
We found out the F-box I missed last time is in a tunnel in the jungle.
Gotta love that smoking
But we
jacket.
don't know how to get in. Donnie said you knew some people.
I know one person who can help you. Leaflet lives near here.
Leaflet! It's gonna be Leaflet! It's Leaflet! Is it gonna be old crack whore Leaflet?
There's a massage parlor some of those bad rabbits you're after have been to.
Who the fuck is Leaflet? Also, where's this
It only counts if Asmund says that.
She's a local connoisseur of all things firearm related, just not the high-end stuff.
Why does he look like he's almost sketched?
Temu and Amazon specials.
As far as the massage place, well, they're a bit different. Have you ever been to South Asia before?
Yeah, I was out here trying to get the F-box the last time, remember? Been to Israel and Germany too since then.
Mindset
Well, I'm sure
legal.
you're gonna have fun. I'll text you Leaflet's location and the other place.
Oh, and Nux should be here later.
Yeah, Nux. Alright, let's run over more of the infinite number of moped riders here. Fleshlight? What the fuck, man? Mindset legal. He sent us here. Is this Asmongold's house?
Where the fuck is Leaflet? Oh, there she is.
Oh, it's just new technology.
Why?
I'm trying to find an optic for my scars and
Why does Leaflet look like an old homeless Asian like Pokemon trainer? Like this is what happens when you lose a gym battle in Pokemon. Like what is happening?
Rock 5 tool doesn't have a night vision mode.
The fuck you talking about? That's an XPS. Doesn't matter. Mindset said you knew something about the tunnels?
I know that there are 3 openings that have to activate at once.
She just got younger
but I
somehow.
only know where one is. I'd have to go with you though to show you where in the jungle.
Just aged 5 years.
It's kind of hidden and hard to explain.
That's fair and easier than I thought. Head to Egg Base so we can plan it out. One down, time for a massage.
What is going on here? I mean, those are night vision goggles during the daytime, not a VR headset, but whatever.
For Asian girls, sometimes you get a flower, sometimes a stem.
Welcome, welcome. First time, here are some of our options.
That's definitely a stem.
I was looking for someone that helps the rabbis that come through.
And take it to the maximum. Fair enough, fair enough.
I, the one they come see. Lay down, relax.
No, Tectone, not with your butt in the air. Do you see it? Do you see it? Tectone, don't get too comfortable. That's what they want. This is how it starts.
The fuck?
What's that poking me in the back?
Bitch has a dick!
Oh my god. Oh, dude, come on now. You didn't have to do that. Just say, stop it and go away. Someone's posing as a Jew. Jeffrey, thanks for showing us how to extend your look. Uh-oh. It's okay. It's just hugs. It's a love bullet.
Clear it out. This is one of the hideouts for those fake rabbies.
Rabbis. Fake rabbis.
Hey, Tectone. Nux is here.
Yes.
By the
Yes.
command tent.
Shh. It's Nux. It's Nux. It's Nux. He's here.
Guess you found out what a ladyboy is. I heard about your little adventure there.
You know, if you'd have waited for me to meet you at Mindset's bar, this wouldn't have happened.
True.
I know where the other 2 locations are.
You know what? Fuck you, Nux.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to Donut and Leaflet in the command tent. We need a plan.
He wanted lobsters and ladyboys.
How was Aaron? Fun. Got Khomeini with a single bagel.
What the fuck?
All right, let's plan this thing out. The entry location.
Didn't he say Mindset was here?
In the jungle, and it's hard to reach with lots of assholes is guarding it.
And I know one is in Hanoi.
Hanoi.
On an island in the ocean, just off the coast. Should be easier.
All right, here's what we'll do.
They're attacking Cheeseburger Hill 420.
Alice. Uh-oh. Sensor time. Oh no, just hugs. Just hugs. That's all that is. It's hugs. His head exploded because of it was filled with love.
Ain't no black ride, no queer parade, no welfare bitch so loud.
What is this song? Oh, it's okay. It's just a frog. He's not real. No, I've got my friend's viscera in my eyes. Fluoride shrinking balls. Don't shoot at me. I'm just the censor. Uh-oh. Oh no. That's just a red and green frog. It's Christmas colored. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. I blew up my buddy. More cocks than a rooster coop. That's pretty mean. I pray Bug Mom. Bongwater in the future uses Nux's actual VTuber avatar. No, I do too. I really do. I like the buff slick model, but it really would be funnier if they put more of his VTuber avatar, especially since they're trying to get Asmund and Tectone as accurate as possible. Especially Jake Monroe. My God, Jake Monroe is almost perfectly done. A lot of dead frogs. It's like France in the 1940s. Nope. Hey guys. Grandpappy was always right. Migrant whore. My God, this song. Oh. It's okay. Grandpappy wanted it to be this way.
Son, the world's gone to hell in a handbasket lined with rainbow flags.
Well, true. I mean, you could age him up a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe I just like seeing the Nux avatar. But you could do like a Nux avatar ate like a Mario mushroom and wasn't so cool looking. Like, though this one kind of looks like, what's his name? Milo Yiannopoulos went to the gym for a long time and then got his skin dyed blue.
Keep your powder dry, you hate hot, your trigger finger itchy. I was always right, you inbred some bitch.
You inbred some bitch.
Grandpappy warned the ends here with 5G frying your nuts.
That means
illegal raping the
Grandmammy
land.
was his sister.
FEMA camps waiting, one world order slapping chips in
Cheeseburger
your
Hill,
hand.
420.
So bury your gold, Rick Claymore's round of steel stock beans and double law. When the zombies are journey you come knocking, remember the gospel I taught.
Man, yeah, shoot that ground. Oh man, there's a lot of love going on here.
Grandpappy was always right. Motherfucker always right. Through the apocalypse of crime, the socialist night he called every shot on every fire.
Bongwater Entertainment. Right on. Well, that was the original to the sequel that we watched the other time because we thought that was a sequel to something else we've watched. Part 3 is coming out within a week, maybe 2. So we'll watch that here when it comes out, either on the weekend or when there's time during the week. But yeah, that's going to be, well, hold on. Let's see if anything interesting. Oh, I see something. Prompt of the day, my favorite game. Ooh, okay. Okay. All right, I'll jump on that prompt of the day a little later today. Hopefully before I go to the dentist. The oral surgeon, if you will. But just be like, yeah. This is it's pretty accurate. But muscle memory took over. What the fuck? I mean, kind of. See, like this looks like parody. This looks like Fat ET or something. This shit's crazy. Oh, God. See, that doesn't make any sense because this is the person who would shoot the other people's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, that one, I think those are more serious. Like, those are supposed to be kind of tongue-in-cheek, but they're supposed to at least feign being serious. As far as the, it's always been the money. Bits. Oh.
Did that make the children that are left behind?
See, this was super interesting, especially considering what he posted after, which he deleted, which I don't have anymore, because I didn't think he would delete it, because he doesn't delete hardly anything.
I would ask is did that make us any safer? Did that make the children?
He's talking about deporting a child rapist, by the way.
That are left behind any more stable? Did it improve?
Yes.
The idea that we can't all be judged by our worst day, and I want to be very
our worst day of kid diddling.
clear. These are horrific crimes.
Yes.
I guess the question I would ask.
Yes, kid diddling. It is a horrific crime. Governor of a state, governor of a shitty, a shitty state that's got a lot of fraud. A lot of fraud. Some would say the most fraud. Some would say second place. But what the Beetlejuice is that? Anyway, but that's all for today, guys. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend. If not, well, let's say this weekend's pretty much a wash. Just so I can recover from my my surgery, and then Monday, I'll let you know. I'll post on X and on YouTube for those that don't have X. Whether or not I'll be on Monday, I more than likely will. It should be fine. But yeah, just in case, just keep a lookout for that. Other than that, just plan on seeing me at the same time Monday morning. And until next time, this has been